Zelensky huddles with European leaders as Trump looms. Brussels, Belgium, Dec 18, 2024, BSS/AFP. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky meets Wednesday with NATO chief Mark Rutte and key European leaders in Brussels to discuss next steps on Russia's war as Donald Trump prepares to take office in the United States. The gathering due in the evening was set to bring together German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Polish leader Donald Tusk, Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni, and Denmark's Mette Frederiksen, and could also include French President Emmanuel Macron. British Foreign Minister David Lammy is also expected to attend, as are EU chiefs Ursula von der Leyen and Antonio Costa. The huddle comes just over a month before Trump moves into the White House, having pledged to bring a swift end to a conflict that NATO says has left over 1 million dead and wounded since Russia's 2022 invasion. European leaders, keen not to be left on the sidelines, are scrambling to come up with their own plans as fears swirl that Trump could pull U.S. support for Kyiv and force it to make painful concessions to Moscow. Discussions have begun between some capitals over the potential deployment of European troops to Ukraine to secure any eventual ceasefire. But while this was raised at a recent meeting between Macron and Tusk, diplomats say it remains too early to come up with concrete proposals. Officially, that is not on the agenda, but since there will be a lot of important people in the same room, it cannot entirely be ruled out, a NATO diplomat said. Addressing Italy's parliament on Tuesday, Meloni said the meeting in Brussels would reinforce European efforts to assure a just and lasting peace. It is also an important opportunity to discuss the future of the conflict, maintaining close coordination on the next steps to be taken, Meloni said. Zelensky says he believes the war could end next year and has called for allies to help secure a peace deal that Moscow cannot violate. He said the leaders would discuss how to urgently strengthen Ukraine on the battlefield, politically and geopolitically. NATO said that discussions would focus on ongoing support for Ukraine, in particular air defense, as Russian bombardments have hammered Ukraine's power grid. Zelensky seeks air defenses. Rutte has insisted Kyiv's allies should focus on ramping up arms supplies and urged them not to debate possible peace conditions in public, as it risks playing into Russia's hands. Western backers are seeking to shore up Ukraine's forces as Kyiv's fatigued troops are losing ground across the front line and Moscow has deployed North Koreans to the battlefield. The aim is to make Ukraine as strong as possible for possible negotiations, a German government source said. Zelensky on Tuesday said Ukraine needs 12 to 15 more air defense systems to fully protect our country from Russian missile strikes. The NATO diplomat said the meeting will be basically about Zelensky asking for more military aid. As Trump's return to power approaches, the Ukrainian leader has appeared to soften his stance on any potential peace push. He has said that if Ukraine is given firm security guarantees by NATO and enough weaponry, it could agree to a ceasefire along current lines and look to regain the rest of its territory through diplomatic means. But NATO members have rebuffed Kyiv's calls for an invite to join their alliance right away, sparking speculation that sending peacekeepers could prove an alternative.